welcome back to our channel, the Headleys. So we're going to talk today about our first trip to Ghana, well, his first trip, and we saw a few sites or a few lands around different areas in Accra and Aburi, and just going to basically take you through and, I don't know, just see what you think.
It was a real eye-opener for me, especially coming from the UK. Been many places, but my first time actually on the continent and to Ghana. And yeah, it was different. There's a lot to see, and it was a lot more different from anywhere else I've been.
Okay, so did you recall what sites we went to? So first we looked at one in that estate. I think it's in the Yubi area.
Oh yes, Salem Estates. It was fine. It was just that they more or less had sold out of the plots, and people were ready to build, and there's a potential issue with waterlog.
Yeah, because they only had one site left at the back, which one we looked at. It was right near the basically big dam or gutter kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, so that means your issue would be with
water.
the water.
Everyone's water will be coming to our site.
And it wasn't something that I was really that interested in, because it was just within a housing estate. There's no view, it was just flat land, there's no interest about it.
The only benefit about it, I'd say, would be that it was in a gated community. Other than that, and obviously everyone's building at the same time, so you'd have, I guess, the services would be there and other people would be there at the same time.
Yeah, I remember we were going there initially, and my idea from basic research on places to live in Ghana would have been the typical East Legon cantonments, airport, and just areas like that. But soon as we landed, the traffic.
That was crazy, wasn't it?
The traffic. And I was like, if this is what it takes to get from one place to another place in Ghana, I need peace. I can't do that.
I think it was my first real time being in Accra as well. Obviously, the times I've been twice before that. One when I was 12, one when I was 17, and both of those times we went to Kumasi. So we only left Accra for a night, and then drove straight to Kumasi. So I never actually got to experience Accra. This was my first time experiencing Accra for what it was. So it's actually quite very different, a lot more hectic than Kumasi, because obviously I was used to the more relaxed lifestyle. This was crazy. So I was like, ugh, straight away I was like, oh, I'm not sure about Accra in the sense of the traffic, and having to live here wouldn't be great. But yeah, but you'd be staying in the estate. It was nice estate. I think it wasn't one. It was only 1.5 plots as well, which we were looking for 2 plots.
Yeah, initially looking for 2 plots.
Yeah, so it didn't tick all the boxes there. And then I guess what definitely threw out the window was that it was at the back where all the water would run down to, and right next to basically a big trench. So if it was ever to flood, would be like the first ones down.
Yeah, can't have that.
So the second site that we looked at was, I think it was at the bottom of a Aburi, so it wasn't quite climbing the mountain yet. Do you remember? That's that guy's back garden.
It was practically a back garden of somebody else that had already built their house and wanted to divide.
Literally, he had 2, was it 4 plots in total?
Let me just give people a hint of people, if you don't know about how Ghana and how their preference, should I say, of how they build their houses. They like to have massive front gardens and a very small backyard. And they literally mean backyard. Like, it is literally a yard wide. So you open a door and the wall is right there. So they don't do back gardens like in Europe or the UK, especially here, where we have a lot of back gardens and it's a very small front garden. It's the exact opposite, probably a tighter back garden and a massive front garden. So Ghanaians like to do the parties at the front of the house, which is very different from the way that we do that.
Yeah, so it was like different. So it wouldn't have been right for us, because I think it was in less than 2 plots. So how it would have been is, literally been back to back, and that's what we were looking for. we're looking for something that could have a big back garden, more similar to the UK, where there's a decent sized front garden. And yeah, so it wasn't what we were looking for really. You don't want to be at someone else's back. So that was a no-no. But the next one we saw after that was in a brie.
Yeah, and that was a yes for me. Straight away, you could see the view of Tema and the city. Then you had the nature, which is something that
It's
is
not even
high
just
on
that,
the list.
because we went and it was quite hot when we went in April. It was so hot in Accra. As soon as we came up the
yeah.
mountains, it was like, oh, it was so
The
cool
Ghanaians
and
are saying,
nice.
"Oh, why do you want to go out to a brie? A brie is so cold. If you go out to a brie, this is where people go up to acclimatize to go to Europe." And I was thinking, yeah, whatever, that's nonsense, while it's like 40 degrees down here. They are right.
It was, the first thing I was like, oh, like literally a break from the heat. It was
felt
nice.
so much more
So
better
nice.
up there. Supposedly mosquitoes don't like it up there, but they don't like Europe anyway, so that would make sense.
Yeah.
But
So that was definitely one big plus for me. And the second one, when we saw this land there, it was, I guess, it was nice. It had a bit of the city view, a bit of the mountain views. It was like perfect. It was like where you'd go to have a break from life, really.
Yeah.
It's like the best of both.
You could see other houses around you, so you were remote, but not too remote, because you had neighbours like just around you, but not too close. Then you had, in the distance, you could see some of the well-known hotels in Aburi. Then you've got in front, you've got just all mountain, untouched, like forest or jungle, whichever we want to put it. And then beyond that, you could see the city and Tema, Pram Pram, and Accra was towards the right, main central Accra was towards the right. And then beyond that is the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
So
that was
best views.
that was a yes for us. The only the con on that one, I'd say, was the access. We had to, going there wasn't so bad. Like, you had to park the car up further up and then walk down to the site. But coming back to get to the car, by the time we got to the top, we were all sweating.
With 2 children, it was difficult.
I was carrying Nia on me.
And
it was painful. So that was it. And your mum was like, nope.
Yeah, we took my mum and her dad with us, and my mum decided that she was just going to stop at the top.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not coming. If you live here, I'm not going to come and visit you.
That's what she said. But you know what? I guarantee she'll visit us.
But yeah, so that was the second one. The third one we saw was in Dewenya, so that's near Pram Pram. That one I guess was a no for us again, because it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. There's not much development around, and yeah, it just had nothing for it for us.
I must add that in Ghana, it seems that literally it might be an empty field. You buy a plot in the middle of an empty field and start building, and they literally take that saying, build and they will come. Literally, they just build. Other people build around it, and before you know it, it's a town by itself.
And the price for that as well was more or less the same as the one in Brie. I think it was the same. We'll talk about the price again towards the end, because I noticed I missed that out. But it was, the same price for not much more different, really.
Yeah, for not much. It was more or less, again, in the field. There's nothing interesting about it. The only benefit they had, the only benefit the plot of land had was, they said that the airport, a new airport is coming near there. Near Pram Pram, so you're not too far away from the new airport.
So it would build up and obviously it'll get better. But then for us, that wasn't like, nah. I think it didn't tick many boxes. The middle of nowhere, flat. I mean, it's still in the heat and it's far. Like, think about it, Brie was about 45 minutes to main Accra. Whereas this felt like it was at least an hour, no?
Hour, 2 hours even, potentially. And if this traffic hits you bad.
Yeah. So we want to be, obviously, we're trying to be near Accra, we want to be close to as possible, but not have to be in the traffic. So that wasn't that great. And then I think the last one we saw was another one in the Brie. Further into Brie, or might not be a Brie, but it was further.
It was a Brie, at least a Brie area. I liked it, but that was truly secluded. Like, it had a much better access off the main N4 road, and even though it was further in.
So the N4 road is the main road that goes into Abri.
Yeah. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful road. In fact, just driving up there makes you think, wow, this is something I could live here. So when we saw this plot of land, it was obviously to get to Abri you have to go up this road, but it was easy access, wider. Well, this was a dirt road before they tarred
But it was wider and it was quite decent road to
drive. But the land, you had to walk up to it again. You couldn't drive up to it.
But it's still easier to get to than.
It wasn't too difficult to get to then.
I think the view was nice, but it wasn't as good.
It was just off the mountains, which wasn't bad. Like, we liked that, but it wasn't in comparison. When you could see there's multiple aspects to the view in the first plot we saw in Abri, where you could see the city, potentially the ocean on a good clear day. You've got the greenery around you, and you've also got the other neighbours and buildings that you can get to, and it's not too far from the main road.
Whereas this one was quite further up away from the main road.
Yeah.
But the other one, even though the access wasn't that great, it was quite close to the main road. So like as soon as you get to the main road, you're more or less in the car. So those were the 5 I think we saw in 1 week. Would you believe it? Went to Ghana for a week and managed to see 5 sites plus a bunch of other stuff we had to do. And in the end, we chose the first one we saw in Abri.
This one got a little bit happy and then didn't want to stick to the 2 plots. I thought, we could do a little bit more, and
it was you
decided to take
4. In the end, we took 4. So in the end, we took 4 plots, and we paid about 45,000 Ghana cedis for them each, so it equates to 180. I paid a bit more extra for the documentations, but yeah, that's more or less what we paid. So yeah, we chose to go for that, which I probably would put a video of it somewhere at point in this video. But yeah, and I think we're happy with it. We'll obviously let you know how it went. So in the next video, we'll explain more about the transaction, how the process went for us in Ghana. And yeah, so stay tuned. Some more exciting stuff to hear, because that bit was definitely crazy.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, until next time, I guess. I'll see you soon.